Imagine being on the vacation of a lifetime, a cruise through the Caribbean with your family. The sun, the ocean, the laughter. And then suddenly, your daughter, your sister, your best friend, vanishes into thin air. No splash, no goodbye, just gone. This is the haunting case of Amy Lynn Bradley, 23 years old, vibrant, athletic, with her whole future ahead of her. She boarded the Rhapsody of the Seas in March of 1998, and she never came home. What happened that night has become one of the darkest mysteries of the sea. Was it an accident, a planned escape, or something much, much darker? To understand the tragedy, you first have to know who Amy was. Born in 1974, raised in Virginia, she was a fiercely independent young woman with a laugh that could fill a room. She had just graduated college, was a strong swimmer, a trained lifeguard, and had a new job waiting for her back home. This cruise wasn't just a trip, it was a celebration. Amy wasn't the type to vanish. She was close to her family. She had dreams. She had plans, which is what makes what happened next so chilling. March 21st, 1998. The Bradley family boards the Royal Caribbean cruise ship Rhapsody of the Seas in Puerto Rico. Their itinerary includes Aruba, Curaçao, and St. Martin. Thousands of passengers, endless decks, live music, dancing, a floating city on the water. For the first couple of days, everything was normal. Amy spent time by the pool, explored the ship, and hung out with her brother, Brad. But people on board noticed her. She was beautiful, vibrant, and new faces don't go unnoticed on a cruise. On March 23rd, Amy and Brad joined other passengers in the ship's nightclub. They danced with members of the ship's band, especially a man nicknamed Yellow. Witnesses recall seeing Amy on the dance floor, having fun, but the night would soon turn from carefree to unforgettable. Around 3:30 a.m., Amy and Brad returned to their cabin. They sat out on the balcony for a while, talking about life, the trip, the music. Eventually, Brad went inside to sleep. Amy stayed outside, enjoying the warm Caribbean breeze. At 5:15 a.m., her father, Ron, woke up. He saw Amy still out there, lying on a lounge chair, drifting off to sleep. He closed his eyes again. By 6 a.m., Amy was gone. Her shoes were still in the cabin, her ID, her belongings. Only her cigarettes and lighter were missing. The door to the balcony was closed. No sign of a struggle. No splash was heard in the night. Just nothing. The Bradleys immediately panicked. They begged the ship to hold passengers from disembarking at Curaçao. If Amy had left the ship, she couldn't be far. But their pleas were ignored. The crew insisted Amy must have fallen overboard. Meanwhile, thousands of passengers walked off into Curaçao, and if Amy was among them, the chance to stop her captors was lost forever. The FBI was notified, but precious hours were already wasted. By the time investigators began, leads had already scattered into the wind. So what happened to Amy Lynn Bradley? There are four main theories. Theory 1, accident. Some say Amy fell overboard. But remember, she was a trained lifeguard, a strong swimmer, and no one heard a splash. Her family is adamant this was not an accident. Theory 2, voluntary escape. Others suggest Amy chose to vanish, to start fresh. But she left everything behind. Her shoes, her ID, her money. She had a career waiting at home. This theory just doesn't fit who she was. Theory 3, crew or band involvement. Suspicion quickly turned to the ship staff. The band member Yellow was seen with Amy just hours before she vanished. Other crew members seemed unusually interested in her. And then, disturbingly, when her family asked for photos taken by the ship's photographers, Amy's were missing. Were they removed? And if so, by who? Theory 4, human trafficking. This is the theory that has haunted the Bradley family for decades. Multiple witnesses later reported seeing Amy alive in Curaçao. A taxi driver claimed she approached him asking for a phone. Divers spotted a woman who looked like Amy on a beach, being closely watched by two men. In 1999, a U.S. Navy petty officer swore he saw Amy in a Curaçao brothel. She allegedly begged him for help, saying her name. But by the time he reported it, the brothel was gone. These sightings paint a terrifying possibility. Amy may have been kidnapped and sold into sex trafficking. a vibrant 23-year-old, stolen from her family in plain sight. The Bradleys' lives shattered. They searched tirelessly, hiring private investigators, following every tip, every rumor. The FBI offered a $25,000 reward. Television shows covered the case, but Amy was never found. Over the years, photos have surfaced. Women resembling Amy in online trafficking catalogs. Women seen in clubs and brothels, but none confirmed. Each lead fades like smoke. Today, more than 25 years later, Amy's case remains open. No closure, no justice, just questions echoing across the Caribbean Sea. Amy Lynn Bradley was more than a headline. She was a daughter, a sister, a friend. Her smile lit up rooms, and her future was bright. Her family still holds on to hope that one day they'll have answers. So what do you believe happened on that cruise ship? Did Amy fall? Did someone lure her into the shadows of Curaçao? Or is she still out there waiting to be found? One thing is certain. Amy's story is not just a mystery, it's a warning. A reminder of how quickly life can change, how fragile safety can be, and how far a family's love will go to search for the truth. This is based on a true story, and it's not over. If you have any information that could help bring Amy home, contact the FBI. Even the smallest detail could make a difference. But now we want to hear from you. What do you think really happened that night on the cruise ship? Was it an accident, something more sinister? Or could you still be out there? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'll be reading and responding, because your perspective matters in keeping Amy's story alive. Thank you for watching, and remember, every share, every comment, and every voice keeps this case in the light.